Hello, today we're going to do messages from your guides. So we're asking any guides, energies, entities, ancestors to be with us today and to deliver any messages that we need to hear. I have 3 piles for you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So making your selection from your intuition, taking some deep breaths to come into a receptive place. Find your pile in the timestamps below, and we'll get started with your reading. Pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to take a look at this Liminal Spirits Oracle card to start and see what energies are present, what's coming in for you from your guides. Belladonna. So immediately, blessings that come in the form of harsh lessons, extracting something beautiful from something that is toxic. But just allow me a moment to tap into any channeled messages that might be present. So I keep hearing the word karma. Sometimes the concept of karma is confusing because people feel like good things should not have to happen to bad or to bad people. Interesting turn. That bad things should not happen to good people. But some of the best people have been through the most. I'm hearing torn clothes and twisted nose. So there could be something to do with having turned your back on some people or some things and feeling very like speaking of people as if you're better than them. But this is an act of self-defense. So this is sort of like, people were mean to me in high school and now I look at them and I revel in their failures, or it's like using other people's failures as triumphs for you, almost. So I'm not saying that necessarily you're doing this, but this is in your energy. So it could be someone around you that's doing this. But what I'm really getting here is this like transition, this space between. So maybe some of the things that have happened to you, you're starting to understand what they were for. The beauty that was hidden there, the gifts that were hidden there. So let's see if we can get more information. We'll pull some tarot cards for you. So let's see. Oh, okay. All right, so you're really reminded here that with the Queen of Wands energy, the Queen of Wands is someone who can be very fierce when crossed. And, but when she is in her integrity, she knows when to, so she knows when to lead and when to follow. She knows when to attack and to sit back. She has a really good sense of proportion with her vengeance, or with her, not even vengeance, but just how she affects other people. there's a lot of courage here. And part of that courage is acknowledging that you no longer need to blame or go after the people of the past, that you've moved on from that, that you are beyond that. I'm having really crazy deja vu right now. Yeah, so here you are at the world. This is the end of this phase. This is the end of putting yourself lower than others or putting yourself above others in order to feel better about yourself. It's this removal of yourself from the hierarchy game. Because you've come into this Queen of Wands energy, you no longer need to play that game. You are what you are. You are what you say you are. You are what you know you are. And with the 4 fixed signs, I know I talk about this a lot because I feel like I'm continuously trying to understand it because I can feel it. The fixed signs are at the center of a season. So the cardinal signs are the beginning of a season and are really good with beginnings and that energy of like new and fresh start. The fixed sign is in the center. So the final sign is the mutable sign, and they're the most flexible, having experienced both the beginning and the middle. They end with a mutability. But the fixed sign is this space between. And so I really feel like that's what you found in this cycle, is the space between toxicity and nourishment, and a way to balance your temper, or to balance your sense of maybe revenge or vengeance or looking outside of yourself. So let's see what other messages are here for you. Okay, so you're going to come up against some political red tape is what I'm hearing, and that could mean anything. Politics applies to relationships, career, everything. There's something that's going to wrap you up and keep you tangled, and it's going to be a bit frustrating. If you're watching this in the time that I'm posting it, we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up, so that could be part of what happens here. But there's this sense of like you've come to the world, and so you feel like, okay, now like I'm free, things are moving forward, I'm in a new cycle, and then almost immediately you get caught up in these details. So this could be making sure that you cross your T's, that your communication, you may have difficulty with communication for a period of time. Let's see what else we can find out about this. Okay, so this is going to have something to do with stability, your home, your income. I'm really getting the unfinished paperwork vibe here. So if you have any, budgets or spreadsheets or paperwork that you've sort of been procrastinating on, this is going to catch up with you, and it's going to get you all tangled up for a period. So paying attention to that. Let's see what this new cycle brings. Okay, so there's been a slow-moving offer coming in for you. So something that has been building for quite some time is continuing to build. I'm hearing demonstrations of care and trust. And I was asking about your love life. So demonstrations of care and trust are coming in, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single. Let me get more on that. The Three of Wands. Yeah. So someone has been in the planning stages for quite some time, I'm getting. And there is something that has been holding back progress. So this could be even just that we are in lockdown. If you're still, if you're watching this while we're still in lockdown, it could be that has halted the progress of things, but things are starting to move forward, to progress. The wands are a good sign here because this is a very slow moving energy, but now there's some infusion of the wands. So let's see what is coming in. I'm going to put this over here. What offer is coming in for you? So regarding the body, I would also keep in mind that there could be some changes to what you're able to eat or what you're able to do physically. So a switch up in your regime, your eating habits or your exercise habits may be needed. Okay, wow. So what could be coming forward is some sort of engagement or proposal, or actually an elopement or getting married. Additionally, it could be some just formalizing a relationship in the sense of becoming committed, or at the very least, this is an acknowledgement of connection. So that's what's coming in here for you in your love life. And then let's take a look at this new cycle, this new beginning. Beautiful. Okay, so not only do we have you here as the Queen of Wands, you're showing up in the readings spiritually, coming into this deep mother energy. So the ability to nourish and nurture not only yourself, but others. So this could be stepping into a deeper role in terms of guidance, leadership, teaching, if that's something that's on your path. Or it could be that whatever you do spiritually begins to emanate out and touch and affect the people around you. So this is what has come from that time of toxicity, and the Belladonna really speaks of the underworld, and this is almost like the underworld has lifted and is coming up on top, and this is what's being exposed. This is what was buried in the shadows, is what I'm getting. Let's see if there's anything else to clarify this Empress. The Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, these are things that you've been putting a lot of hard work into. So your relationship, your career, whatever it is that you've been putting a lot of focus on, this is an acknowledgement of that. I believe this is Sun in Virgo. Virgo energy. Do we have any other major arcana? Oh, Virgo, Taurus. Yeah, a lot of earthy energy. So let's see if we have any additional advice for you from your guides to help you on your next phase. So beautiful things coming in for you. This love situation that's been slowly progressing. I mean, you're coming into this Empress energy, so this could also signify pregnancy. There is passion indicated here, and that could be the reason that you have to pay attention to your diet or your exercise. It could be shifting because of pregnancy, but there's definitely fertility coming in. So whatever you have planted, whatever you've been working on is coming to fruition. We have Sacred Lotus, Enlightenment, no mud, no lotus. Yes, this is the encapsulates the theme of this reading so nicely. So nicely. That you've grown all of this out of, And because of all the earth energy, it may have felt really dark and heavy for quite some time. And this is you sort of growing up out of that dark space. I'm really drawn to this dove that's flying away, that's achieving some level of freedom. But there will be these little sort of like paperwork, the small details that still need to be worked out. And that could be, you know, where you're going to live, what job you're going to have. And those may not feel like small details, but in the bigger picture, they are based on what you've been through. Destiny. It is not the stars to hold. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Yeah. And this is really speaking to this work ethic and you have made this happen for yourself. You have made this happen for yourself. Think of, you know, take a moment to really truly appreciate yourself for what you've been through, how far you've come. Look at this beautiful energy, this strength at the center of your reading. So much strength here. And crocus, cheerfulness. It is spring again. The earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. And maybe you feel that lifting. Maybe you feel that sense of spring. So I'm really feeling like this is something that's going to work itself out over the next couple of months. Because of the earth energy, it may still be a period of time. You do have the fire lighting the way, but if you think of fire and earth combining, they make lava. And lava, while it's faster moving than earth, is still a slower moving kind of energy. But fear not, you have beautiful things coming in, a time of fertility, a time of deeper commitments. Yeah, and that's what I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for joining. Take care. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at what energies we have here in this card, and then I'll pull some tarot and maybe some additional oracle cards to get a better sense of what messages are coming in for you. Fiber. Ooh, so I'm really feeling that this is deep down. This is something that you're feeling in your tissue. So maybe this is an intuitive sense that comes in through the body. Like you've had this feeling in your body, like something's coming, something's happening. And it's just really in there. And you can't quite understand what your body's trying to tell you. What's coming. The details of it are fuzzy, but you know you can feel it in your body. This is something that could manifest as pain. It could also manifest as too much anxious energy or an uncomfortable belly. So pain in the stomach. So let's get some tarot cards to see what this is. So what's going on here for my pile number 2? We have the card of hope. I'm feeling like there's a start or there's a thing that you're hoping for and you can feel the outcome in your body, but you're not trusting how you feel. Yeah. A new beginning. Wow, this is beautiful. So we have Aquarius energy here. And this is something that's really been brought to you you anxious about this? With this beautiful energy, why are you anxious about this? Why is this? Okay, so there's this feeling of hope, but then there's this also that simultaneously this feeling that you don't quite fully know what's going on. It's like this sword is like the truth. This sword is like what you know. And you've got 4 swords on your back. So you've got those details under wraps, but there's these 2 sort of unknown aspects. So let's see, what are these 2? Show me the first sword. What is the first sword? Okay, so the first sword is represented by the Ace of Swords. This almost has, oh no, it's not. It's the Magician. It's the Magician. Manifestation, personal power. You don't know what you're manifesting? Okay, let's see what the other sword is. Yeah, because she has the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and the swords on her table. She has the sign of infinity above her head. She has all the tools she needs. The Knight of Wands. Okay. So there's someone you've been giving your power to. It's almost like, so if this is a romantic situation, it's like there's someone that you have your eye on, and you don't know if they like you back, or if you don't know if they like you in the same way. You don't know what they're going to offer you. A Knight of Wands can be kind of a player figure, but they're very, very attractive. This is fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, potentially. And so what's happening is that in not knowing what their decision is, you feel like you can't make a decision. You feel like they are withholding some sort of truth from you that you need in order to move forward. And so you have this hope, and you have this, with the star, intuitive sense that that all will be well. You feel it in your body, but it oscillates between this brightness, this feeling of being in the sun, to feelings of anxiety and that burning feeling in the skin, almost pain, physical pain, or upset belly. So let's see. Let's take a look at this Knight of Wands a little bit more. Okay, so this Knight of Wands, yeah, you're waiting for them to make a choice, and you feel like they don't have enough information. So what I'm guided to tell you is that this cycle with this person is coming to an end. So it could be that you've been in this cycle with this person for a period of time. And if it's not romantic, I should have said this a while ago. If it's not romantic, this is like my boss holds my career in their hands, or my clients hold my career in their hands, or my government holds career in, or some aspect of your life is being, your personal power is being given away, but you're reminded that you can make this choice from a place of personal power. So where do you want to go? Which path do you want to take? So this withheld truth is moved away. Like, you can take the power back and move that out of the way. Move this over here. What their decision is their decision. And bring the power of choice back into your energy. So what if you make this choice without knowing this information? So if you make this choice. Okay, so that's a walking away from something that is meaningful. I really feel a lot of empowerment from this Eight of Cups. And she's almost running toward her emotions. So this is really like being guided by the moon, running toward your emotions, being very honest with yourself. Yeah, and taking your time to fully understand and appreciate what is being offered to you. Interesting. So there could be another opportunity or another offer that is available to you when you walk away. So if you walk away from this Knight of Wands energy, there's something else waiting for you. So what if you stay with this Knight of Wands energy? Okay, so there's definitely faster moving energy this way. There's definitely a faster moving energy. But it's 9 to the 8, so it's a bit regressive. It gets somewhere and then it goes backward. So maybe you come into contact or you feel like it's grown up to a certain point. You're lured away from it's regressive. It's regressive? Interesting. But it teaches you... Okay, so this fire energy is teaching you how to come into your Queen of Wands energy. How to come into your Queen of Wands. How to make balanced choices. To be courageous. Courageous is a combination of creative and courageous, which is, it's kind of perfect for fire energy, just like trying to do everything at once. But the Queen of Wands knows that she can't do everything at once. And so she interesting. Whatever choice you make here teaches you something. This leads you to something slower moving, a new offer. So moving away from this Knight of Wands, this beautiful glowing thing, helps you come into your Queen of Wands. What does this do? Lands you in the center of tradition. Interesting. Two very different kinds of leadership. So you have two paths. You have a fire path and an earth path. Taurus is represented here. We also have Aries, Cancer. I have a lot of major arcana. This is not a small reading. This is not a small situation. There's some struggle with confidence over here, but I feel like there's something about this Knight of Wands situation, so whether it's work or a relationship, that is really teaching you about confidence and coming into your own. And though that relationship may be regressive, maybe the job isn't long lasting, it is going to teach you and communicate to you. It's like a fast track to transformation. So that's one path. Let's say that's the white horse. The dark horse is moving away from something that is meaningful and educating yourself on your own emotions. It's a very slow moving energy that comes with new opportunities and new offers related to tradition. So this feels very creative and this feels very stable. And it puts you back into planning mode, into the Two of Wands. So this could be going back to school or going back to some sort of training or going back to an old relationship. This first, okay, so there's a bunch of different messages coming in, but for some of you, this is going back and emotionally looking at perhaps a marriage or a past long-term committed relationship and learning and planning to move forward from that space of that knowledge. Either way, you end up at the beginning. You end up back at the beginning, whichever path you take. The 7 leads to the 8, and then you find your way here. So the key to this is coming into this Queen of Wands energy. To balance your passion, your creativity, what did I call it? The courageous creativity. This energy holds the light inside of her. Her sacral and her sacral, is balanced, but the main part is that the sun is coming from within. The star is within. The hope comes from your personal power. That's why we were led in this circle, because nothing external really matters at the end of the day. It's what you've cultivated inside of yourself, your personal power. So if you are looking for some practical advice, I would suggest doing some work on your solar plexus, some balancing work on your solar plexus, on your sacral, working on issues of self-worth and self-esteem. I feel like you're nearly already there. Some additional research, reflection, observation, but this almost feels like it's going to happen inevitably. Like there aren't really choices that need to be made here. Okay, so we have nasturtium, victory and conquest. Yes. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. There it is. There it is. Let's see another. Gallantry, grant me a single smile. Sweet William, small, has form and aspect bright, like the sweet flower that yields great Jove delight. This is, again, that brightness that comes from inside of yourself. One more. graciousness and benevolence. So again, qualities of this Queen of Wands. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. It's almost like you need to be comfortable with your goodness, or like with your ability to inspire and to enlighten and to connect with others. I'm going to give you two more. I'm going to do crystal wisdom cards. Strength. Yes. That's the card that's not present here. And I feel like that's what this whole reading is about. I am strong in mind, body, and spirit. So if you don't feel strong in one of those areas, this would be a good time. Either you, for this, it feels like there may be a creative block, or there's something that you can go to and you can learn. So maybe training in some new skill and simultaneously learning some new information would be very helpful to you. And we have self-acceptance, absolutely. I fully accept myself and know that I am worthy of great things in life. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how this resonates, and we'll see you soon. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So I've just learned that they're ripping up a kitchen next door. So if you hear some banging, that's what it is. But I'm going to keep going and keep recording. I hope it's not too bothersome to you. So you chose pile number 3. Let's get a look at what's going on, what messages we have for you from your guides. We start with the card of the Ocean. This is referring to, or this reading is referring to some sort of downward spiral that you've experienced. So perhaps you've been experiencing a lot of addictions, or a lot of addictions. I don't know if that's a thing. This relates to addictions. It's this rock bottom feeling. So either you've spiraled down and you are on the trajectory down, or you're spiraling on your way up. So we'll take a look at the cards and see what they have to say. So what is this spiral? I was not told that this would be happening in my building today. Okay. Interesting. This spiral was inspired by an arrival of some kind. So something good came into your life that you had been working toward or working for, and it triggered you to into a place of self-doubt, or not really being sure that you were worthy of it. It's something that you really wanted, and it was something that you had been working toward for quite some time. You've achieved this thing, but you've closed your heart to it. So what can we know about, this is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. This can be relationships, career. Okay, so it's almost like whatever this was that came in, it was beautiful. It came with this feeling of love and luck, and but there's this fear that's connected to it. There's this fear, and it's this fear of past pain, of past cycles, of this not being real, that it's just going to end up the same as everything else, is what I'm getting. And this is rock bottom. So you've either hit rock bottom, you're about to hit rock bottom, or wherever you are in relation to this, this is the rock bottom, this is the bottom. And that's where you start to swim upward. But your rock bottom simultaneously, it was a victory. It was like let's say you found the love of your life. And that immediately shot you into this space of, I'm not worthy. It triggered your addictions. And as we know, the cycle of addictions, it's like, as we know, I'm just assuming that you know, because of these cards that are present, like you then become unworthy because your addictive actions or your pulling away, your hesitation. So let's get more about this. Okay, so you achieve some kind of status. So whether this is you found a committed relationship, or you found a place within a tradition, or you found some sense of authority, you really achieved something almost impossible or unachievable. Like if other people look in at your situation, they sort of think, wow, how did they do that? And you're over here going, I'm in pain. I can't see my victory. I'm clinging onto this thing that I'm simultaneously walking away from, or this is like a sneaking sort of suspicion that this isn't going to last. So why are you feeling this way? What's going on here? It's a wish come true. It's a dream come true. So this person or thing or situation is a dream. It's a wish come true. It's everything that you wanted. You have arrived. And so this has triggered your addictions. Yeah, so this is really the beginning of building a new community for yourself, a new situation where you see yourself reflected in the world around you. You know, sometimes we are living our lives and we're living someone else's life, or we're living someone else's truth. And not that that isn't valuable to learn, but sometimes we don't live the situation that we really that really reflects us. And so you're starting to see yourself reflected in your world. And it's this new start. It's the foundation for everything that you've wished for everything that you've ever wanted to build. And here you are in pain, mourning your victory. So can we get some advice about this situation? Okay. I love Spirit. It's so funny. Okay, so celebrate. It's okay to share this information with other people. It's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to say, I have arrived. It is safe to say, I have arrived. Because wherever you're going from here, like, you don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed that you have arrived. You can share this with your community. You are out of the planning stages. You are into a time of building. This is everything that you wanted. What other advice? Okay, so keep working. So sometimes when people get to this point, they stop working on what it was that they wanted, and they start, don't let your self-doubt keep you from progressing or keep you from working on what it is that you want to achieve. Don't let yourself get distracted either by these addictions or these whims. Yeah, this is your this is your happiness. You have arrived. You have arrived. This is a very, very clear message. So let's get you some additional advice from the Oracle cards. I don't think tarot is going to say much more. We're just repeating ourselves now. Garden heliotrope. Devotion and dreams fulfilled. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So if you feel yourself being pulled back into addictions or into that swirling, churning self-doubt, see if you can harness that energy, and remember that you have all of these cups here. You have 9 to the 10 of cups. You are supported by a community that loves you. You're seeing yourself reflected back in the choices and decisions that you're making at last. Gloxenia, love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew. So for those of you where this is resonating romantically, which would make sense with the 9 and the 10 of cups, and then also this formalizing of some sort of commitment and the Page of Cups, the foundation, the new beginning. So this could definitely be a love reading. With the 10 of Cups, this is, a loving, beautiful relationship. And the feelings are reciprocated, and you can trust that you are able to transform together. That you can now do this next stage of your journey together. And if there are codependencies, that's something that you can work on. So with this work here, don't be afraid to put work into this relationship. Just because we've found someone who feels truly aligned and feels like really perfect for us doesn't mean that we stop working on that relationship. So I can see that if this is a relationship reading for you, it's definitely triggered you to find this level of compatibility. Tulip, friendship and gratitude. Okay, so perfect. This is what I wanted to say. It may have triggered you, but remember that the foundation of this is a friendship. Okay, so we have the progression from the 9 to the 10. The 10, this happiness and this true fulfillment isn't coming from a place that isn't stable. Like it's built. It's been built. So let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. So whether this is relationship or career, whatever the situation, remember that it has progressed. It has come from a strong foundation and from building, and your life is being, yourself, your aligned self is being reflected back to you in this life, which is such a rare and beautiful thing. So congratulations. I'm very happy for you. This is wonderful. And you'll start to, even if you're in the early stages of this will reflect back to you more and more. And even if you do succumb to your addictions, maybe you've met some people that can support you. Maybe you have a different network of people around you that are able to support you so that you don't fall back into old patterns. But I don't see that happening for you here. I see that you are triggered, and I see that some things have been triggered, but I see you still progressing forward. So we have Brazilianites, flexibility. I am flexible and free to be me. Exactly. You have built a life for yourself where you are allowed to be you. What an incredible thing. And Moonstone, cycles. I am the divine flow of my soul rhythms and life cycles. You are in the flow. Absolutely. That's what I'm feeling. Regardless of what this represents in your life, you are in the flow. So this could represent all aspects of your life, honestly, that you're in this flow, you're moving with the tides. So those cycles and those spirals, Like I said at the beginning, you're either on the spiral downward or you're on the spiral upward. And it's the same thing, because as soon as you hit bottom, you spiral back up again. And so not to worry when you get triggered or when you feel those intense amounts of pain and you try and sneak away. Stick with what you've worked for. You're committed to what you've worked for, and you have this beautiful new beginning coming toward you, or that is already there. It's not even coming toward you, it's already there. So that's what I have for you, pile number 3. Please leave me a comment and take care.